It is important now to discuss how to save a project and then to resave it under a different name. Unlike some other products such as a simple Microsoft Word type document where you can simply open the document, click File, Save As, and give it a different name, you cannot really do that in a Microsoft Visual Basic environment. My suggestion to make modifications to an existing project and at the same time leave the original project intact is to first exit the Visual Studio environment and go to the location where your project is now saved. For example, I have the folder Sample1, which is my sample project for saving. Since there are multiple files inside of this folder, you always want to work at the root folder level, that is the folder that contains the entire project. And by simply right-clicking and choosing Copy, and then right-clicking once again and choosing Paste, I now have created an exact duplicate, a copy of Sample1. As you can see, if I click on Sample1, I have the entire project and all its support files in both projects, both the copy and the original. And they're called the same thing, except the folder name is the only thing that's different. Of course, if I wanted to, I could rename this project. Perhaps I'll call it Sample1 Plus, since I may add some things to this project. Now I can open Sample1 Plus and go to my original Sample1, double click on it, which will launch it into the Visual Basic environment. And remember, if once you open the environment, if you do not see the form immediately, simply click View and Solution Explorer and click Form 1, and that will bring the form back to you. And now you can modify and add to this project without fear of losing the original, because we have that in its original form, and we can now save this project under a completely different form. Experience has told me that this is the only foolproof way of properly modifying an existing program and keeping the original intact. My suggestion is to follow these processes each time you're trying to modify an existing program. Now if I add to this project, if for example I add a button to my form, and I could of course add some code, all of which we'll talk about real soon, I can now simply go to File and simply click Save All, and it's going to go to my new folder that I created a few moments ago without interrupting or without disturbing my original project. And notice it does not prompt me for that. When I click File, Save All, it knows the location of where it came from, so therefore it's being saved right back to that location. By the way, a shortcut to the Save All is the toolbar item on the top of the screen that says Save All. That will do the same thing, and it's a good idea to use that frequently as you're working on a project, to update your project so that if you were to lose power or otherwise your system would crash, you would be saving your project as you go. So you want to use that Save All button liberally.